Welcome to Inklands Week. I guess we called last week Inklands Week. This week I feel like is really Inklands Week. It's when we have Inklands in our hand. Yeah, I'm really excited for this show. If you know, for those who join us every week, welcome back. For those who are new to the show, thanks for joining us. This is Let's Talk Lorcana, the weekly show where for an hour, we try to keep it to just an hour. We talk about the latest Lorcana news, speculation. We try to bring in people from around the community, build some community. So if you're here, welcome. Feel free to ask questions in the chat throughout the show, and we'll put them up. And yeah, it should be fun. I was telling our guests I did something a little unfair to them, and I'll start by telling a quick story. Those who are familiar with our channel know that we are Aaron and I are new parents, and we have a little almost 6-month old. And since we both work full time, we are as of the start of January experiencing the full time daycare routine. So Elena has been going, all day long while we're at work. And we're learning that thing I feel like that all parents learn at some point where you realize you send your kid off and then they bring back all sorts of little like critters and viruses and things. So we all came down with a pretty bad stomach bug this weekend. Um, and so I didn't get to do as much prep as normal. That's okay. We have some amazing guests who are going to carry the show. But I couldn't help but want to do this show because I love talking to everybody. I love meeting new people. I love having people on the channel, and so we're going with it. So yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. So I mentioned we have some wonderful guests. Wonderful guests on the show. Some are returning, some are new. So I'm going to start introducing them now. First up, it's somebody we've had on the channel before. He's rebranded recently. You all know him as the Curator. This is Cameron, one of the premier, I think, Lorcana content creators on Instagram, giving us all the latest and greatest news. Cameron, how you doing?
Hello, good. Oh, am I frozen? Oh, I'm just okay. So I have it pulled up on YouTube, and I'm getting confused because the YouTube feed is a bit delayed for me. Okay,
That is true. That will happen. That will happen.
all right. I'm gonna watch it on this screen now instead.
Yeah. How was your week? How was your Inklands release week? Did you get any products?
Awesome. I got 3 boxes. I got stuff at Disney Springs. I got troves, which I'm very happy with. Because if I don't have troves, then I have nowhere to store my this set's cards. I pulled an enchanted from one of my boxes, so I'm very happy about that. And I pulled a very good error starter deck with a bunch of miscuts, so I'm very happy about that.
That's super cool. I don't know. I know misprints aren't everybody's thing. I love them myself, so I think that's super
Me
cool.
too.
Yeah. No, that's super awesome. Yeah. Well, 3 boxes, that's pretty good. And enchanted miscuts sounds like a good weekend.
Yeah.
Congrats. Well, let's check in with another one of our creators. I'm going to go to somebody who was on our channel ages ago, and we haven't had him back since, just because schedules didn't work out. But we have him here tonight, and this is Brendan from Brimley Games.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me on.
Hey, fantastic channel. I do want to plug something of yours, Brandon. We were talking beforehand, before the show started. And I don't think people realize that you created like one of the top 3 Lorcana videos from like a pure Lorcana channel. And it's just been getting views and getting views and getting views. It's a how to play Lorcana video. So for anybody who's looking to teach people how to play, or who pops on like social media and is like, I want to play the game and I don't know how, I always point them to your video.
Thank you.
Are we going to get an update with locations at some point?
We actually got that today. So I posted an updated video, added in the locations, and sprinkled in some new cards. I see some people in the chat definitely threw in Cusco for Wybreezy, Flounder for Citizens of Lorcana, and a couple other ones. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to see it because really, I mean, if over, I think 100,000 people watched it, then it's gotta be useful. So
I sure hope so.
Seeing you know my mic is low, I'm trying to get it up a little bit higher. Let me know if that works. All right. How was your release weekend, by the way? I asked Cameron all about his product. What did you manage to secure?
It was good. Got a trove. Try to get one from every set, and then we got a box, opened up most of it, saved a couple packs for a draft we're doing this weekend. So a lot of fun.
Awesome. That's too cool. Cameron, who's this?
This is Luke. Luke is one of my cats, and then my other cat is Princess Leia, though it's been shortened to Princess. So there's probably going to be at least 1 or 2 popping through.
Okay. Okay, that's all right. We love all animals on this channel for the most part. Moray eels we're a little tepid on, but llamas and cats are our favorite. So the cats are allowed. All right. Moving on to our fourth guest. We've had him on the channel before, but I don't think ever on a live stream. I'm really excited to welcome Zach Bivens. Zach is a fantastic Lorcana player, and we've had him on before to highlight some of his decks. And Zach, I think I'm going to say that, and you tell me if this is wrong, that we are the first public appearance you're making since you launched your own Lorcana channel today.
Yeah, definitely the first since then.
That's good. I'm going to wear that as a badge of honor here. I'm going to make that like a merit badge. That's great. Hey, I want to ask about how your release weekend was, and then if you want to plug your channel quickly, because I think it's some place that anybody looking to improve their game should go. But first off, how was your release? Did you get what you needed?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. So I didn't open a lot of stuff, but I was able to trade for lots of stuff for decks. So that was the main goal for me. So always fun.
Yeah, for competitive players, I'm sure that the play sets are the first thing. Some of us are chasing enchanted, some of us are chasing error cards. The players are like, give me the play sets. I'm also chasing puppies for the record for a similar reason, except that play set is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
A lot bigger. So it's good. So Zach, your new channel, and if I was better prepared, I would have it up here for people to see. But why don't you really quickly describe what you're doing there, and what do you hope it'll do for people?
So it's called Lorcana Castle. Posted the first video today about Steel Song because it's kind of the deck I'm known about, and I had like so many people asking me for the deck, so I figured it was a perfect time to just make the video on it. And yeah, just looking to make competitive deck guides and cover my tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's great. The same way that we, and I've talked about this with you before and some other people, I really do think that the way that a lot of people follow pro sports and they like to see, their favorite athletes, on different teams, playing different games and event results. I think that's the same for the Lorcana world. And as we follow some of these big tournaments coming up, whether it's the official tournaments or PPG's tournaments or any of the random smatterings of 1Ks, or there's an 8K coming up in Atlanta. There's I'm going to get the name wrong. Please correct me in the chat. But I think it's the Tim Burton tournament that they just announced, I think yesterday in Dallas, which is a great event. So all that being said, I think that people, when they watch these event results, love to see names that they know, people they can follow and follow their deck lists and stuff. So I'm really glad that you're throwing yourself out there and yeah, creating the channel.
Yeah, dude, I have so much respect for content creators. It is not easy.
I think you're preaching to the choir on this video.
Oh,
yeah, it is. It's almost a full-time job on top of your full-time job.
No doubt.
Yeah. Good shout out here from Brandon. So, this show, I'm really excited. Like, any release weekend is so fun, where we've all gotten to see, a set be released and people interact with the product for the first time. There's, usually good news. There's oftentimes some bad news, and I'm excited to get into all of it. I did want to do something first, though. Because, and I've teased this a little bit, but as a family channel, and as I think all of us agree that Lorcana is a great game for families and kids, and that we hope that a younger generation gets into this game and this becomes their Pokemon that they're playing for like 30 years or getting back into or whatever. So I think that's a shared feeling among the group. And we noticed somebody this week posted about a way that they play with their, I think, 5-year-old. Matt's going to have to correct me if I'm wrong in the age, but it's a way of playing Lorcana and introducing them to the cards, to the game, and a little bit of mechanics that we thought was brilliant. And so we wanted to bring him on and talk about how he plays with his daughter, because maybe it's something that we can pick up and take with us. And then maybe we'll try around here and see how everybody does, and the audience can kind of vote on the winner. So Matt, Snapquester Mage, is a competitive player in his own right. Huge history with TCGs. He does some Lorcana content on Twitter. And Matt, welcome to the show for the first time.
Hey, good to be here. Good to be here among all of these other big people.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. That's what the show is all about, is bringing people together and people meeting people. So, I kind of gave you run-in a little bit to what we're gonna talk about for this segment. But why don't I just pitch it over to you to talk about, you know, why you made the post you did and why you kind of invented this format that we call story mode, for lack of a better term. But if you have a better one, let us know.
I kind of like the idea of adventure mode, and instead of going on a quest, you're going on an adventure.
I like it.
Yeah, but I mean, no, my background is in complex competitive games. My whole life, I pretty much like those. My wife's not a big fan of those, and my little girls are a little too young for a lot of them. But a few years ago, we first tried D&D, which is, you know, narrative storytelling as a game, and we both loved it. Again, still a little too young for my little girls, but and it was a little outside of my comfort zone. But it was an aspect of gaming that I'd never tried before, but I really enjoyed. Getting to my daughter, she sees me play with cards all the time. She sees my friends come over when we have Commander Night for Magic. She sees my Lorcana cards all the time, and she sees, hey, those are characters that I like and know and want to enjoy. And so I'll give her kind of like a stack of some of the commons, a lot of the stuff that I open up and can't use really competitively. And she just the other day, a little less than a week ago, asked me, hey, I want to play. And at first I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do with this? It's definitely kind of a complex game, but I just kind of said, okay, let's play. And then I'm kind of like, oh no, what do I do with this? And so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but I grab her little stack of cards and I'm trying to figure out and scrambling to figure out what it is we're going to do with them. And I said, well, what do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? And I want to let her play. And I want her to play in a way that's accessible to a 5-year-old. And so I don't want to overwhelm her. My background is I'm a math teacher. So what I want to do is take complex ideas and can I kind of distill them down into something that's digestible and what's the core idea of what's going on. And so for me, it was kind of like the main things were the inking system, playing characters, taking turns and drawing cards. That's kind of like the 4 biggest core ideas of any game. And so I wanted to start from there, and then I figured out, well, what can we do once we're there? Because I don't really want to get into the combat and the math and all the other things quite yet. And that's when I just kind of was like, well, she loves telling stories. And I figured once characters were in play, we could just tell a story of the characters in play and what they're doing and what they're going on. And I believe you actually have a clip of this to share.
Yeah, I do. The audios may come across a little weird, but we have a translator here, so I'm sure it'll help us out in the back end. But excited to watch this.
It's when the ink is this way. It's super so giggly. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Minnie, and she was climbing down, and then she fell into a big castle. But luckily, she climbed out of it very quietly. It's because it was the Queen's one. She was inside, and she found Olaf was protecting she. But Olaf was inside the castle, the big castle. But you can't see since it's below this picture. That's why you can't see it. It's below the rock wall. Because they have a rock wall says nobody can come in. And luckily all the friends can climb over it. Climbing over, to go around it.
That's my favorite thing.
So it's just so fun to watch her just be creative and tell stories. And in that case, it was the new Minnie that where she's in climbing gear, and so she was saying that Minnie's climbing up. And what's interesting is she has this retention, which makes me think that I want to try D&D with her, because she's referencing this castle, and the castle was from a previous session that we did before. And so she's already kind of like connecting things together. And so that's just really cool for me, because she's using the mechanics of this game I love to tell stories. And so it's just the most important thing to me is she having fun, and is she kind of like learning structure and rules and the ability to play a game in a structured way where it's not just randomly making up stories. There's stories with a structure. So I love it, and it lets me allow her to dip her toes into something that I've enjoyed for most of the past 20 years.
I love it. So because there's one thing I love, and that I'm a new parent, so I don't know this for sure, but I'm guessing that with kids, when they express interest in something, you probably have like a limited window to exploit that. And then if they get a bad impression right off the bat, where they ask about Lorcana cards, for example, and it's like, no, that's too hard, or they have an overwhelming experience, then that's it, maybe forever. So I love this way of kind of slowly bringing them in.
Yeah, and a lot of it is she wasn't really able to play, but she would see me play, or she would see me specifically with Commander, because we'll do whenever we can with busy parents and things. Get together, a group of us, and play, Magic, but it's a similar card game, and she loves it, and she sees how happy we are, and she wants to do that because she knows it makes us happy.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so so I have to ask a rules clarification here. So, you play a card. You'd use the normal inking rules, and you play a card, and let's say it's Minnie Mouse, and you tell a story with Minnie. Then next turn, you play another card. Does that card then have to interact with the previous character in the story, or does it just build on the story?
So the rules are definitely fluid. I mean, it's definitely a very make it up as you go along thing. My original thought was to have a separate story each turn, but of course, a 5-year-old's not going to think that. The story has to continue. So she would build off of it and build off of it until it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then everybody's doing something, and the game was kind of over. Basically, when it got so overwhelming that so many things were going on, and everybody just had a party and decided we're good, or if we ran out of cards.
I love it. I love it. Well, this is gonna be. This is either gonna go. This is gonna go really well, or it's gonna go terribly. I want to try around with everyone. Is anybody vehemently opposed to telling a Disney story from scratch? Everybody's like,
I don't know that mine's going to be good. I don't know that I have the creative 5-year-old anymore, but I'm cool. I'm cool.
Deer in the headlights. Let's see. Let's give it a try. Do you have a deck of cards there, Matt? Or I've got a whole box here I can just randomly pull cards out of.
So, funny story, a bit of a tangent, which we could probably get into later, is I do have a deck and some other cards, but the deck I'm playing tonight is actually as close to as I could Zach's list that he posted earlier today. So I'll make sure to pilot it very poorly because I'm not nearly as good, but I'm hopefully looking forward to it.
All right. Let's go with the Steel Song deck. And what I love about this, we'll go with the Steel Song deck because it's something Zach is known for. And now, whenever Zach plays this deck, he's going to remember the stories about each one of these characters, and it's going to be indelibly stuck in his head. I love it. So why don't you give me the first card there, Matt? I'll give it a go. I'll see whether I can do as well as your daughter.
It is in order, so I'm just pulling out some of the random characters.
Okay. There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. It's just live. Whatever.
Maybe it's a terrible idea.
All right, let's start with, how am I going to do this? Because my camera's up there. Let's start with Stitch.
Oh man, Stitch. This should be like the easiest one, right? So Stitch, not a lot of people know. Jumba actually created Stitch New Dog to deal with one of the most ferocious and terrifying Disney villains ever created or known in the Lorcana universe, and that is Ruby Amethyst. No idea how, but Ruby Amethyst is one of the worst villains, terrorizing the population, and Stitch was created to take them down. And so the first leg on his quest was landing on Earth to take down this villain where it lurked somewhere around Disneyland or anywhere else Lorcana's played. I don't know. All right, that's my opening.
All right, I think Zach should pick it up next with the next character since he is quite familiar with the deck. So let's pick another friend to join our party. Let's say that a ballroom sensation joins the party.
So Cinderella just got out of her carriage. And she saw Lily, who handed her some googly eyes. Then Cinderella and Lily took the googly eyes to Cusco's palace, and Flounder was there, and they all had a wonderful, awesome day.
All right, googly eyes.
So since Flounder was there, Flounder also had to bring his friend Ariel, and they were wondering, how are we going to be at this party when you're a fish and I have a fish for the bottom half of me? And so they had to figure out how to build a contraption to carry them all with all of their water because they weren't able to be on land yet. And at this point, Ariel had no legs. She only had a fish bottom. And so she had to figure out, working with some of the other Illumineers to create, and engineers to create some sort of device to transport her to this wonderful party.
Well done.
And let's go Rapunzel's next.
Oh, I'm going to let one of you jump on it. Who wants it?
Well, as they were going to come onto the land with the water, unfortunately, the contraption they built had a leak, and it started to slowly drip out. And suddenly, Flounder and Ariel were stuck with diminishing amounts of water in their fishbowl. And unfortunately, they breathed their last breath. But Rapunzel came along. She healed them both, got them back to water, and they all drew 3 cards. It was amazing.
Then almost took a dark turn. I was like, whoa.
Well, it perhaps took a little bit of a dark turn, so somebody was very sad.
Oh.
And what might have cheered him up? Oh, no one's going to jump in on this one?
Cameron, you're up.
I don't know what to say.
Don't worry, we're just throwing you on the spot. It's fine.
I'm trying to think of a song. All right, so what song would cheer up Beast? Obviously, Friends on the Other Side. We got to get more friends. So Rapunzel's gonna sing Friends on the Other Side. It's all about draw power. We're all drawing. Getting more friends on the field to cheer up Beast. We're gonna throw a party for him and try to cheer him up.
That is wonderful.
You said something about Matt. The game ends when everybody's like having a party, and so Cameron ended it on like the perfect note.
There we go. I love it. Like I said, it's not about the end; it's about the journey. I mean, and that's really what it is. Are you having fun?
Yeah, I mean, I love it for kids. I'm not sure how successful we were. It's amazing where your imagination and creativity goes when you're not, 5, but.
It's great. No, and that's the thing is like we are adults and we have this like kind of predisposition to not wanting to be silly or not wanting to look bad or not wanting to look unprofessional or show a side of something that's not polished. And again, as a teacher, like the kids are going to see you do stupid things and you just got to own it. You got to move forward and you gotta take it in stride and hopefully someone gets a laugh out of it. And then you go back to doing whatever you're doing serious.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, that was fun. Maybe. I don't know. Some of you may have had fun. But anyway, so that's a fun way to play. And I just like it because, as we're all, whether you're players or content creators, as you're out in the community and as we're trying to bring new people into the game, when hopefully we'll all encounter a situation where somebody wants to play, but they're not quite ready to learn the rules. And it's a fun way to bring them in. All right. Who wants to talk Inklands? Let's talk Inklands. I'll start by saying, I did ask everybody else when they came on about their opening weekend or Inklands release weekend, but Matt, you didn't have a chance because you went right into your game mode. So how was release weekend for you?
It was good. I got myself 2 boxes. I have a 3rd one coming in the mail. I don't actually play any green, but I did open a regular Ursula and a foil Ursula. So that'll be good trade fodder, hopefully. But no, I got some great stuff. I got my Robin Hoods that I can play. I got a bunch of other stuff. It was fun. I was able to open my boxes on camera on my little tiny YouTube channel that I throw stuff on that nobody watches, but that's fine. No, but it's been fun. I'm very excited for the new cards. There's a lot of really cool new things, a lot of cool new mechanics, and I've got a lot of TCG player packages coming in the mail soon.
Yeah, I've yet to delve into that expensive world for this set. Yeah, so I just want to let's just open it up and have a conversation and talk about, I think the first one that the first thing that was pretty apparent, even throughout the pre-release season, is the print run on this seems to be massive compared to previous sets. Because I don't know about you all, but I was seeing boxes and I bought boxes in the 120 range in some places. Yeah. I mean, do we think that's the new norm? Do we think that's good? Because this is way below the initial MSRP that Ravensburger announced back in the day, around 150.
I actually think it's kind of healthy. Like, you don't want all of your product selling out day one. That's not how it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to have product on shelf. Everyone's kind of freaking out, like seeing product on shelf because they haven't seen it before with Lorcana. But that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to go into a store and buy cards anytime you want. It's not supposed to just be gone instantly. And so, like Pokemon, for example, they set a really high MSRP in boxes. Like, I played Pokemon like forever, and product was always sold at under their suggested MSRP. So I don't really find it as a problem personally.
Yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with you. You know, there's different models, and I was saying this for months as we were getting through sets 1 and 2, etc. You know, there are some games that purposely set a low print run in order to keep demand high. There's a game out right now which I think is kind of doing that, and nobody can find it anywhere. And I think they've said that they're aware of the scarcity of their product and they're fine with it. And that's kind of their business model. But I agree. Like, it always struck me as funny when people were complaining about, you know, Lorcana product being on the shelves. And I think we saw it the first with Floodborne, or the first chapter, when we had the reprint and it was hanging in Targets and all that. That, like, Magic does that all the time, you know, and Pokemon does that all the time, and games are fine. Like, I don't know.
I think if more people can get their hands on cards, then not only can more people play, but the more stuff that's opened, the cheaper the singles are, and the more people can build the decks they want to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. You know, for us too, speaking of more people playing, like, the release weekend at our LGS was the biggest they've had yet. They actually opened a whole second session in the evening. Shout out to Gamecast in Austin, because they had like 60 people on the wait list. And so they're like, oh, we need to, you know, do a whole other event to try to get people in. And that's new for this set. I don't know. I was half expecting, like, this set, especially with product available in the past, to kind of like slowly taper down and like ramp up again. But the interest in this set was huge. I don't know. What would you all say? No.
I was gonna say it definitely seems like they learned from their first and second chapters, and like put the pedal to the metal and say, we want to hit the ground running with set 3 so that we have enough products so that anybody that wants to get these cards can get them. And I can appreciate having the product available, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping from this point forward, prices, we see them at the same level. I don't know about a reprint. Like, what do we think about reprints of Floodborne and First Chapter? Do we want to see those over the next few months?
I want to see reprints of Trove, because I want to keep. I opened 2 Troves from every set, but I want to keep one sealed. But I felt bad keeping one sealed when there were a bunch of people that couldn't get them at all.
Yeah.
So
I kind of like the idea. I kind of like the idea of the troves being special, because inside it's just packs, and you can get packs anywhere. But a trove is special, but it's not like, it doesn't affect the gameplay because you can still get the cards.
Yeah, it is fascinating. Troves is such a fascinating product. Like, when you do the math on, you know, the money Ravensburger, and I know this isn't the way it works. There's distribution at stores, and there's all sorts of people in the middle. But in theory, let's say, you know, packs sell for $6, and then everybody, you know, along the line gets their cut of that $6. When you do the math on Troves, with the packs in there, you're really only paying $6.25, I think, per pack, at MSRP, at Trove MSRP, and you get, you know, whatever other trinkets come in there. And to be frank, like, the storage box itself is probably worth way more than, you know, that extra penny per pack. So I don't know. I do wonder if that factors in. Like, it's not the most profitable in terms of, I don't know, profit. I don't know, but I hope there are more as well, because they're great little products.
Yeah, that's the one that, like, if I can't get anything else, I go for a Trove. That's my go-to. But other product availability wise, I would love to see reprint of playmats personally. I've had a lot of fun. I have the Steamboat Willie one from set 1 and haven't been able to get any others since. So those are cool, and I think as a collector, I would like to see those reprinted.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I had to get this one on eBay.
I was about to say, if this is a Honey Wizard mat, like, yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. Like, playmats, one, they're priced so well, I feel like, and then two, in terms of production, they're not terribly difficult to produce. So like, I would love to see other runs. I agree with you. I don't know. Yeah, playmats. So I think I do think those are the two real limited products: the troves, the playmats. I mean, the other accessories seem to hang out for a while, and I don't know. But how about I do want to ask about the gift boxes this time around, because we went back to the set one model. What do we think about gift boxes as a product line?
Yeah. They're fine. I love the idea of the oversized cards, but I don't know. There's a weird markup for the gift sets that just seems a bit unreasonable for me. When I can buy a trove, I'd rather buy a trove over a gift set 100% of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I also, I mean, we're not being critical of Ravensburger. We're friends with us. I also have a weird, relationship with the gift sets. I love the idea. I do love. I mean, the oversized cards are beautiful, but you open a couple of those and then you have these oversized cards. And I would love, like, if they did in the book the what do they call them? The portfolios, the
Binders.
The binders?
yeah. Portfolios. If they did, now they're small enough already in terms of cards you can fit, but imagine if each set they had like 2 pages in the back which were for oversized cards. So if you're a completionist, you have a place to put those oversized cards. I think it's the big thing right now is where do you put them? I don't know.
No, I mean, I think it's a neat product that looks good on the shelf, and it probably attracts people who may not be familiar with the game. So it's kind of a flashy, attractive way. So like, I see why the product is there. It's just not a product necessarily for me as like kind of a more seasoned kind of competitive player. But I mean, there's definitely an audience for it.
That's true. So it's like an intro product. It's what you see on the stores at Disney if you're not familiar with Lorcana, and you go grab it because it has a big shiny box and kind of wows you.
I do have a use for the oversized cards. I got some of them signed by the artists.
Hey, Mel.
And I love it.
He doesn't sign many of those either, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's great. Well, and now I'm jealous. Where do you live again? That's awesome.
If they go missing, I know who to suspect. I got my eyes on you.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, I don't know. I liked the D100 sets. I really like the D100 sets, honestly, as the concept of them, reskinning them with classic art. I know that there were a lot more out there than people initially thought, which is probably good, because I think all the cards are kind of affordable now. If you're a collector, you can get them for a reasonable price. And I haven't done the math on like the value of the gift set versus the value of the cards. I don't know if it evens out, but I don't know. But I like the concept of that, I think, a little bit more. So I kind of hope they look at that again. There's a role for like concept art too, because there's so many concept artists doing wonderful things. Like I would buy a gift set of just concept art for some of these cards that we love, kind of the way Magic did Modern Horizons 2 back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, as a Magic player, one of the things I love is they have. I mean, it's a little overdone now, but there was kind of a window where there's a sweet spot of a bunch of kind of special edition promo or special versions of cards that you could get, and it'd be kind of sweet. Whereas now it's a little bit too much in the other direction, where every set comes with 8 different versions of a card, and it's a little overwhelming now. But I do like the idea of having kind of your regular version of a card and then a special version. We have the Enchanteds, and it'd be nice to have something kind of in between there.
Yeah, interesting. I agree with you. I mean, yeah. Go ahead, Cameron.
I would like to see the concept art in some kind of art book. Like that would I would love to see that.
Yeah. Or on that was one of the okay. All right, there's something else we need to talk about.
Go for it.
And I just brought it up. It's the rules cards. Where are we at in the rules cards?
I wish there was another puzzle. I had so much fun collecting it. I know it's a lot of people are just like, oh, throw it away, but it's like it's fun. At least collect one for each set, and it's more fun opening than the rules. But
yeah,
I understand they need to be there because they've got new pieces, new rules, but like there's got to be a better way to communicate it, even on the pack itself. I don't know, something. you look at it and you're like, well, that's going to immediately be thrown away.
Yeah.
Even new players, I feel like, just ignore it. Nobody reads anything. Nobody looks at it. If it's at least like a puzzle thing, that's at least like a cool art thing. But the rules cards, and especially the fact that there's 2 of them now that I'm throwing away, because I kept every single puzzle piece. Rules cards, there's 2 of them, and I'm throwing away every single one of them.
Yeah, I wonder.
God.
Yeah, just wait until the game introduces tokens.
Oh.
I would love tokens.
I wonder, yeah. B Square just said what I was thinking. Like QR code on the back for the rules, puzzle piece on the front. Like best of both worlds. You're getting them the instructions, and I mean, I make how to play videos. I think that people like videos better than they like reading, and it's just helpful for people.
The age we're in.
Yes, exactly. So I think that's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I agree. You know where Magic does this oftentimes is in pre-release kits. Starter decks designed specifically for pre-release events, and they'll have new rules, and they put the little cards in the pre-release kits.
Yeah, it's a separate box that has like 6 packs in it, and you build your sealed deck from it.
Yeah, and that's another way to get them out there. But I agree. Like I'll be frank. Like I was bummed by the no puzzle piece thing. I was amazed at the amount of online like distaste for the rules cards. And I shouldn't say that. It's probably love for the puzzle pieces, right? That's probably what it was.
They were cool, and it was different.
Yeah. Well, and not so much trash, because at the very least, now you have a stack of rules cards, and like, I don't know, I'll keep 2 for like, because they're ephemera or whatever, and throw in a book. And then the rest, I don't know what to do with. But the puzzle pieces, I had to keep 4. So, and then I kept a couple more sets. I'm like, you know what? Years from now, somebody's going to get in this game, and they're going to want the mini diver like puzzle, and I'll have a spare, set here. So, I don't know.
And when your kids are older, they're going to love them.
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
Honestly, the puzzle pieces are my favorite to have the characters at the park sign, because it's just like, and then I frame them. It's just such a cool thing to have. I don't know.
Right. And Cameron, you brought up the point of the concept art. Like, there's concept art on those puzzle pieces. Like, we get to see the artist's previous rendition of this character, like that maybe didn't make the cut. And so that's neat too, to see kind of the process behind developing the final one. Yeah. Anyway,
maybe this is a. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Always interrupt me. You all are
this
interesting.
Might be a bit too far, but what do you guys think? What if they did multiple pictures in one set? So like, instead of like you're just going for the 4, you like, oh, I got Minnie's leg, and oh, I got Goofy's hat, and then you're as you're discovering them, then you try to like, it's more of like a collection seeking, instead of, if it's just 4, it's like I'm pretty much guaranteed to get the puzzle. I don't know, could be fun.
I would love that. I would also love.
I was gonna say, I can't tell you how much I love that, and I would even take it a step further and randomly place in foil puzzle pieces.
Fascinating. People would collect those. My God.
They would.
100%.
I love the idea of multiples, because here's the thing, Cameron. You talked about a book, for concept art, and I know, having gone to Lightbox and watched, and so there's stuff that Ravensburger's talked about. I know from Lightbox that the creative team is very aware right now that they have some amazing card artists whose names are on cards, and they're getting a lot of credit for the work that they're doing, bringing this game to life, as they should. Behind the scenes, there are a myriad of concept artists who, because they're, for a variety of reasons, but one of them is they're just really good at concepts, they generally aren't card finishers. Brian K. Turner is one, Sam Nielsen is another. Sam Nielsen has said he's worked on like 30 plus characters in order to bring them to Disney for approval. But then Sam doesn't finish cards, although he said at Lightbox publicly that he has one coming at some point. So that is public knowledge that was put out in the ether. But again, like, so if Ravensburger is looking for ways to kind of highlight the work of their concept artists, and I understand you need some Disney approval on the concept pieces, but right now on the puzzle, gosh, this is a rabbit hole. But right now on the puzzle pieces, you have, I think, the concept pieces by Adam Fenton or Nick Cole, depending on the puzzle. You could do it where you have the character, and then you have, you know, maybe a concept piece or two by the card artist, and then maybe a concept piece by Brian K. Turner, concept piece by another artist who worked on the piece, perhaps. And then you're bringing in the concept artist as well, and you're allowing us to see the evolution of this character from the concept artist all the way through the card artist. I don't know. Sorry, that was a lot, but I love this idea.
Me too. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Let's do it. So I know we are, gosh, there's so much we could talk about Inklands, but I'm kind of interested, especially since we have one of like the top tier, you know, competitive players here, and somebody else sitting down, you know, at their first league night with a you know, season 3 deck. I'm going to start with Zach because I think I know the answer, but I want to give you a chance to talk about it anyway. What are you building week 1? What are you playing into the Inklands?
Tough question.
You know, week 1 league.
They printed this card, so I'm playing this for sure because I hate Be Prepared. So I can't not support the card that takes out Be Prepared. So definitely some Still Song.
Do you think it got a significant upgrade?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, everything about the set helped it a lot. Robin Hood's super good. Bare Necessities is obviously great. Kita's pretty solid too. So, and Along Came Zeus is nuts. 5 damage for free because you can sing it. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Oh man, have you played it yet? In person?
Not in person, no. But I have like the next 5 weekends worth of tournaments. So
awesome.
March is going to be pretty busy.
Oh man. Well, if you know, just one shot. If you're not following Zach on the Twitters to kind of see his tournament journey, you should do that. And you can follow his finishes. Matt, and you already tipped your hand a little bit, but what are you playing?
Yeah, I'm actually playing as much as I could get of Zach's deck in time. I'm missing a couple pieces, and a couple of the locals are helping me fill in. But yeah, there's my Bare Necessities as well. I only got the one of those, so
yes, I only have one so far.
There's something ironic
but
about
they're coming in the mail. But no, I played this version is more like what I played in season 1. I actually didn't play Steel Song at all in season 2. I was on Amethyst Steel for a while, which I know Zach's probably again way better at, but that's okay. I love those colors. And then I took a trip to the dark side and spent a couple weeks doing really well with Ruby Amethyst. And then now I'm back on this, and yeah, I really like it. I like the lower, wider with the stitch, and a bunch of the songs, and it's interesting to see it without flutes. So we'll see how that works out.
Oh yeah, interesting. Zach, flutes were like your finisher to take it across the finish line against Ruby Amethyst. So
yeah, because they had Be Prepared, so they blew up all your characters where you couldn't do it. But now I should have my characters still, so I might not need to take the flute.
Interesting. I'm excited to, yeah. All right. I got to see. I haven't watched your video yet. I'm ashamed to say, but been busy. So I'm going to watch that later tonight and see how it goes. And if you want to know how the deck used to work, you can check out our video with Zach from last week. Pretty good. Brandon, what are you putting together there?
Yeah. So first off, I have never been to a Lorcana League at a game store. I just play with my family at home, and it's awesome. But that first off, I've never played against an actual Ruby Amethyst meta deck. So it's so fun for me to like hear about all the like craziness of the Be Prepared and Maleficent Lady Tremaine, because I just don't see that side of Lorcana. But I focus on the decks. So the two that I'm most excited for is the Broom. I made a little Broom one, and then I'm excited for the Pirates. I got 2 Jolly Rogers, so I was toying around with that one a little bit, and it was a lot of fun.
Interesting. Okay. What if you play casual only, what is your favorite casual deck to play? Because I'm interested how your experience with Lorcana differs a little bit from those of us, grinding leagues and tournament games.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just been a lot of fun, whatever decks they are. I think one of the ones that I've had the most fun with is the Challenger deck with the Queen of Hearts. So the Queen of Hearts, whenever you challenge a character, you draw a card. In one-on-one, it's not super powerful because there's only so many characters you can challenge. In multiplayer, there's 4 people's worth of characters you can challenge, and most of them have a 1-cost character. So I can do more challenges. They go further, and I draw. So that's one that I've had a lot of fun with, is getting to draw some extra cards from her.
Interesting. I love hearing that. I love multiplayer is my favorite way to play, and I think either next week or the week after, we're gonna do a whole show on various formats you can play. Whether it's the 3v3 team format, the two-headed Hydra, which we love, and the we'll call it Popper instead of its other name. So that'll be fun. So I'm excited to talk about that. Maybe we'll have to come back and talk about your multiplayer experience.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about it more. It's a lot of fun.
Cameron, what are you working on?
So I like to tinker a lot, and I have stumbled completely backwards into some straight up fire. I've tested it 20 games so far, won 15 of them, so that's an insane win rate so far. It is a ruby emerald evasive discard conglomeration. It's really I'll put the deck list somewhere, maybe in your Discord or something. But it is I love it so far because it's got a lot of the high strength evasives that have like 1 willpower. So like typically they die, but nobody's really playing swords right now is what I've come across in my testing anyways. And those guys hit locations hard. Like Radigan will like 2-hit the pirate ship that gives evasive, and then I don't have to deal with their evasives coming out of nowhere. It's really good, and then it's really aggro. It's got the cursed merfolks as the 1 cost, Flynn as the 2 cost. So I'm gonna quest a lot, and if you're gonna hit me, then you're gonna discard, and then I'm just gonna keep questing with evasives after that. So it's really fun, really good.
Yes, please post that in the Discord online. I'm eager to take a look. That's fun. I have to admit, the one deck I want to build like more than any other is the puppy deck. Like literally, it's literally going to be. I'm going to put 1 of each named puppy, and 1 of each parent, and then the rest of the 101 is being filled out by tail waggers. It's a true movie deck, and it's going to be awful, but I'm going to be so excited to bring it to league and sit it down, and just go some games with only playing tail waggers. But when Lucky comes out, it's going to be bonkers good. Maybe.
Question:
So
Are you
there's
putting in 1
there's a
copy of
phrase.
the 99
Oh, go
puppies?
ahead.
Sorry. Are you going to put in 1 copy of the 99 puppies action?
Yes. I might put more actions. Like I feel like it's flavorful, so I might
Okay.
have 4 of those.
Sounds good.
So there's a phrase that I like to use. It's not good, but it sure is great.
I love it. That will be the deck name, perhaps. When I finally get it together. Puppies are, thank goodness they put them in the starter decks, because even though there's a few people I think trying to hunt down 99 copies, they're out there, and you get like 2 puppies a box, maybe 3 if you get a foil. They're not easy to collect, so thank goodness for the starter decks.
Yeah, after this week, I'm actually trying to get my hands on the Jafars, because I absolutely have to play the Jafar meme wheel, just because I love Steel Amethyst, and I don't know what the perfect version of that deck looks like yet, but it plays a lot of the cards that I love, and I like having kind of like a win button with Jafar and Wheel, and the thing for me is I just want to find what does the shell look like underneath that, and how sustainable is that if you don't have Jafar and Wheel.
King Jeffrey with the other great name, Who Let the Dogs Out. I love it. I want to touch on. I do want to touch on one more thing before we kind of wrap up and say goodbye to everybody. Everybody's thoughts on, because there's a PSA I want to make, but I want to just kind of tee it up first. Did y'all see the issue with boxes and like the distro of legendaries and some boxes and all that? I feel like that was all over the news. Anybody encounter that?
I saw
at
it
all?
online. Didn't see anything in person or at my store, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I did see a lot of it online.
I don't know. What anybody have thoughts? I don't know.
I don't. I wouldn't want one of the bum boxes, but you know, if those Stitch rock stars are floating out there around, I wouldn't mind one of those.
I don't
Yeah,
believe this
I think that's what they
Rockstar
call
yet.
in the industry an oopsie.
Yeah, I don't know that I believe the Stitch Rockstar. I have yet to see like it pulled on video. I don't know. Like I've
There,
seen a couple
somebody
pictures.
did have a video I saw actually of it where they were like actually like moving it around. I don't know if I could find it or not, but I did see
Yeah,
it.
I saw the video, but like of it being actually like opened from the pack. Like I don't know. I don't know what incentive you'd have to do it other than getting social media attention or to drive up the price of boxes. But like, I don't know. I'm skeptical of that one still. The one thing I did see, you know, because when the first and so for those watching who didn't know, like there was an issue where certain boxes apparently the legendaries did not make it into the distribution for that box, like card distribution, and so individuals got like all rares, right, in the box and no legendaries. It's the gist of it.
I think
And
so.
I think
then
so. At least that's what I heard, but I haven't seen that from anybody, at least not locally. But that's why I did see that online.
yeah, it was just I feel like that's true. And you know, Ravensburger even came out and did a public service announcement. Said, hey, we'll make this right. You know, if you had a box that's missing your stuff, you know, let us know and we'll find a way to make it right, which is great. Because this happens. This is not easy. I know there's a bajillion card games out there and stuff, but it's easy for things to go wrong. But then on the other side of it, I did see somebody on Facebook because when they announced this, I was like, where did the legendaries go? Like, unless there's a whole box, you know, that somebody made off with or that's sitting in the factory of like legendaries, they're somewhere. And I did see somebody on Facebook like pulled like an all legendary box. Like I don't know, I forget
Oh
what he
my
said, but it was
goodness.
like 30 legendaries and like a bunch of 4 legendaries, and I was like, there they are. Found him.
Yeah,
So
for me, it just kind of felt like luck of the draw for a lot of that. I mean, the cases where there's no rare or aboves, that's an issue. But if you're not hitting legendaries, I mean, that sucks. That's obvious. But like, I don't know. Sometimes it's just luck of the draw, you know?
yeah. Well, I will say the reason I wanted to bring this up is, everybody's sharing like the lot numbers on the boxes as if like, hey, if you have a similar lot number, like your box would be bad or your box would be good. That's, I've heard that that's not really how that works. And so I would say, if people are running around saying, oh, this is a bad box because it's like one off of like this other box and whatever, that's not, I don't know what the number means, but it's something about the day in the factory and some other stuff. But like, you can't draw a correlation between, a bad box and boxes of similar numbers. Like, so if anybody's doing that, they might be off base. So just a fun note for anybody watching. But let's hope that you all watching get the one of those God boxes. All right. We do need to wrap it up. This is great. If anybody has any last minute questions for the chat, let us know. Otherwise, I want to go around and let each of you talk about how people can follow you and what you're doing. I love this panel because each one of you is approaching Lorcana from a different angle, whether it's the art, Cameron, or the casual scene, or the competitive scene, or storytelling. So it's a super great group of folks, and there's something here for everybody. So Matt, I know you need to get off to League. I'll start with you. How can people kind of follow what you're doing?
They can find me on Twitter or YouTube, CFusionPM, but I've changed my name to Snapquester Mage there, a tribute to my favorite Magic card. I also want to give a shout out to Brute Force Games in San Diego. That's my home store, and they're awesome, and they're letting me use this room today to be here so that I can go straight to League afterwards, so they're awesome. And then San Diego just has a great community in general. Most of them run YouTube channels, which we'll probably put in the description later. I did want to give a shout out to Lorcana Adventures. One of our friends here is trying to get his channel up and started, so hopefully we can give him some love.
Yeah, make sure you send us those links. We'll put them in the video notes here, and so people can find you and your friends. But with that, Matt, I know you need to get to League. I'm gonna say goodbye to you, and we'll see you next time. Good luck.
All right, take care.
Let us know how
Bye.
Zach's deck does. Especially
I'll be recording it, and it'll be up on my channel later on.
There you go. On that note, I'll say goodbye to the rest of you, but we'll hang out until the end. Zach, as the newest content creator here, by a few hours, like just a few hours old. Any last thoughts on Inklands or advice for how people can follow what you're doing?
For Inklands, man, I'm so excited for it. So Emerald is finally viable, and not only viable, like actually might be the best right now. So we don't have to face Ruby Amethyst every single round, so that's exciting. Yeah, that's a big win. Yeah, I'm just really excited for the set in general. I think it's the best so far. Like, it really balances out the game, so super excited for that. As far as following me, definitely follow me on Twitter. Post all the time about my tournaments and just document that. And then YouTube, like you were saying, just started like literally a few hours ago. So I'll be posting competitive decks there, also documenting my tournaments, things like that. So yeah, check me out both those things.
That's awesome. Do you want to shout out Breezy? Was a little upset that you said he wasn't viable at some point, and I do believe we have a Lorcana artist here as well. So Mariana, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, sorry, Breezy. I don't know if Green just didn't feel like it even existed at the tournament tables. So I'm happy for you.
First set too. I loved Amethyst Emerald. That was my color of choice. So I'm excited to get some new choices.
It's Emerald's time now. They're here.
Yeah. All right. I don't know when I'm building it. I have to build my Gauntlet deck first, and then after that I can build my other deck. But Brandon, how can people follow you?
Yeah, you can find me online. Name on the screen, Brimley Games. Has kind of a weird spelling, but that's where I do how to play videos on YouTube for different board games, including Lorcana, and then mostly post about Lorcana on Twitter because it's such a fun community. So
that's awesome. And Cameron, I know where people can find you, and people know where they can find you, but why don't you tell us anyway?
Instagram is where I do the majority of my stuff. Honestly, I kind of forget that Twitter exists a lot of the time. I did not realize until today that my @ on Twitter didn't update, so it's still at Illuminators of the Magic Kingdom there. But on Instagram, I am now Lorcana. There's a QR code. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's at Lorcana_curator. Follow me if you want, or don't if you don't. I don't know.
That's great. If you like art and you like the latest news as it comes out, like, Cameron's a great account to follow. So appreciate what you do. Yeah. But with that, I mean, I'm excited about Into the Inklands. I think we're all excited about Into the Inklands. If you're watching, thanks for joining us this week. Sorry, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but everyone, thanks for joining me. And yeah, look forward to our next stream. We're going to be talking about game formats, most likely, unless I change my mind. But it's going to be great. And yeah, until next